guys. It's Friday, TGIF, and we were planning on filming a video today. In fact, we just did film a foam roll and stretch video, and we thought it would be fun to just do a little chat. So these are my friends, Katie and Gabby. They are both runners. Katie is a mother of three and a running coach.
Yep.
And Gabby is a marathon runner and a HR professional. Yeah, so both busy, obviously, doing a lot of activity and the self-care and the superfoods, and they both participated in the spring supercharge one. Gabby, I think you did another challenge with me too, the Chill Power Challenge.
Yep.
And so we just wanted to talk a little bit about what you guys have, how you've benefited from that. And so hopefully, you know, a lot of you who are struggling with your aches and pains and how to fit in stretching and all of those things that most of us struggle with, maybe some tips that you guys have. And so we just got done filming a foam roll segment for the upcoming Flexibility for Warriors Challenge. I'm going to sit down a little bit because because I'm long. Sometimes I feel like I have to slouch, and I don't like to slouch. So let's just talk a little bit about it. So I know, Gabby, for you, years ago, you struggled with, and you were training for your first marathon. Was that your first marathon?
Yes. It was in 2013, and I did everything wrong. I did a lot right, but I did a lot wrong. And what I learned from you, Karen, is sometimes it's better to do less and have the balanced approach, and that's been
So
key
what
for
went
me.
wrong? So you were training for your first marathon. I mean, just refresh, because it was a couple years ago.
It was in 2013, and what went wrong was I had novice thinking, and I did like specificity training where I did when I ran basically a lot every day. And I did nothing else.
Oh, right. So the more is more. The more I run.
More is more, and
more
really,
I run,
and
the
what
better
I
I'll be.
learned exactly.
Okay.
So
then
it was repetitive motion injury.
Okay. You got injured. I remember working on your IT band and your hip. Maybe was it your piriformis or something?
I had sciatica.
Sciatica.
And then my back was all misaligned, and I just was just really hurting myself.
Yeah.
So.
And I remember, so you spent a lot of time, energy, money going to physical therapy. You bought.
Exactly.
Different shoes.
I had different shoes.
Yeah.
I did a lot of different things, but what I learned was I needed to back off.
Okay.
And have that balanced approach.
And take your rest days and do the self-care. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
Exactly.
And Katie, for you, like you were talking a little bit about, how many people do you have training for the Baltimore Half Marathon?
In my group, currently 53.
53. That is so awesome.
Yep.
And so as a coach, what do you sort of see, like, do you encourage people, like what Gabby was just talking, the balanced approach, and what do you see as far as, are they stretching? Are they are they running more mileage?
Well, I do. I'm definitely more so now that I've been with you. I'm definitely encouraging for my runners that they need to take a more balanced approach, and they need to. We're doing more dynamic flexibility before we start. We do our running, but then I also encourage them to do, I make sure that I mention stretching, and I'm encouraging them to do a lot more yoga, because it is so important, because you have to take care of, whether you're serious or you're really, just kind of trying to...
You're doing it for fun, right?
Just doing it for fun. It doesn't matter. You still
Personally.
need to have that balanced approach.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how fast or slow you are.
No, because you don't want to spend all that time, energy training for something, and then the day of the race comes, you're like, oh, you're gimping along.
Right.
And
Exactly.
So you were saying earlier, like, about instead of going that extra mile, so you're supposed to run 13 miles on some, or 8 miles or whatever it is.
Right, for us, yeah.
Right, so you're building up right now, so it's still August, so September, and then the target race is the end of
October 21st, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're encouraging people to not do, if you only have X amount of time, to not do that extra mile and to take that 10 minutes to stretch.
Right.
Is that?
Yeah, we've got plenty of people have to hop in the car right after they're finished with a run and maybe shower real quick and go to a wedding in New Jersey or something.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
And it's they're squeezing this in, and it's really important. I would rather see them cut off one extra mile so that they can get in maybe just 10 minutes of stretching.
I know, because that is the biggest challenge. I mean, you guys are both, obviously, you got 3 kids, you're running coach, you're busy.
Yep.
We're all so busy. And even for me, and this is my job, and it's hard for me to get my workout in, get my stretch in, eat some healthy food. So, but the idea is, if you take that self-care time instead of pushing yourself harder, it actually makes you be faster. It makes you be more resilient. It will help you prevent the injuries that will sideline you. And then you're so frustrated if you're sidelined after spending so much energy and time. And
some great quote by I think Ryan Hall, who was like an American favorite in distance running for years, and he and his wife are still favorites, like sweethearts. But anyway, he had some great quote that was like, "Oh, any idiot can run themselves into the ground."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Well, I love the quote too, and this goes back to when Gabby and I were when I was first talking about writing my book, and we were brainstorming. Remember, we had lunch together or something, and I think the quote resonated with you so much because it was when you had your injury.
Oh.
Yeah, when the quote is something like, and I'm not great with specifically like nailing a quote word for word, but it's to the effect that when your body whispers, or your body will whisper little things to you. And if you listen to the whispers, like you start, the plantar fasciitis is starting, and you're like, and I don't want to hear it. But if you listen to the whispers, you won't have to hear the screams. Because over time, right? And I remember you're like, oh crap,
that's me.
That's exactly what happened to you.
Yes.
Because the body is so amazing, it will tell you little things. But we don't want to hear it, so people will pop ibuprofen. Anybody who's been in my challenges in the past knows how I feel about popping anti-inflammatories and pushing harder through injuries. Yeah. It's not going to help you in the long run. I mean, there's that fine line. Yeah. There's that fine line. So the self-care, the time that you take to invest in your self-care, and nutrition is such an important part of that. So the yoga is one thing. Right. And gentle yoga, it doesn't have to be this hardcore yoga. It doesn't have to be an hour, What we're doing is 10 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, we say. Sometimes 5 minutes, because that's all you have. So the segments for this upcoming challenge that we're doing are all 5 to 10 minutes. And then the Superfood smoothies. So I'd love to talk to you guys about that, because I know you both have been incorporating more. Yeah. And you both have had different effects from it. Yeah. So, and as a mother of 3, how hard, so fitting in the 5 to 10 minutes a day, is it doable?
Of stretching, or
of both? Yeah, the superfoods too.
Oh yeah,
the kids are enjoying it.
They are. Oh my gosh, my kids are always trying to steal my smoothies. They like them actually, but it's not hard. At first I found it. I didn't know the recipes very, just like any recipe you make. You're just not very good at making it. But if you like it and you find yourself doing it a lot, then you got it down, and you can just throw in a scoop of this, or the spinach, this, that, and then you're good to go. So I've got a lot of them down in my head now that I've made them so often. It doesn't take me very long at all now.
Yeah, I'm like that too now. I've just had my habitual now. Sometimes I have a little bit of extra time, so I can be a little more playful. I'll go out to the garden, I'll pull a little parsley or basil or whatever I'm going to put in it, and then other days I'm like, I got to get it. It's 6:15 and I'm out the door, and it's just whatever. But it's a habit thing. You start from where you are, and it's the whole progress, not perfection. So you do what you can with where you are right now, and you don't worry about the rest. Right. So and so Gabby, for you, incorporating, I know, like you said about the dairy. We were talking about this the last time when we filmed the Zia's one. You were talking about the dairy. Like
I just cut out the dairy, and that made me feel better, and it made me even look better. And then I just
little lighter with your lighter.
Yeah, and I just increased the fruit and vegetable intake.
Yeah.
In the form of giant salad or a smoothie, and it's been great.
The smoothies are so easy to make, dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free. Yeah. So the anti-inflammatory effect, like I always say, like I started the anti-inflammatory superfood diet because of my Hashimoto's and the autoimmune issue that I have. But for athletes, it's amazing because it helps with recovery, and so inflammation in the body is what's causing all these aches, pains, and illnesses, by the way. And so when you reduce things, and this is what we'll do during the challenge, you reduce your inflammatory foods, and I'll have to educate everybody about why and what and how. And then you can literally, like people are like, well, what's the difference 5 days can really make? But it can make a difference. Yeah. And then you're going to have those recipes and the videos and we're going to keep the group going until the end of October, because I want to keep your runners,
so awesome.
Going through the end after they do their race. But so it doesn't have to take a lot of time. It really it's the time that you make. And then of course during the challenge I always encourage people, and this makes a huge difference, to prep, to shop a little bit. I'm going to give everybody like the Amazon list. So if you're an Amazon person, you can bang, just shop that way. But if you're a grocery store person, and you can invest the time and energy in doing that, then you can do that as well. But you'll get a shopping list, and you'll get all the recipes, and you'll get the yoga videos coming to you so that it makes it kind of easy for you.
Yeah.
To just check off your list. So, okay, so let's talk about this. Gabby's got her Flexible Warrior hat on. This is reminding
My
me.
fave.
So, I like it too. So the Flexible Warrior, obviously about the challenge yourself, do hard things, you know, persevere, have that warrior mentality. Certainly, you know, whether you're training for a marathon, but this can be anything. Like I always say, like the moms, stay-at-home moms, like you don't have to be training for a marathon, but you have to take care of yourself, because how can you take care of your kids and do all the things that you do without the self-care has to come first. So it's the willpower, chill power factor is what I was going to say. So you guys got the willpower thing going on. You're training hard. I admire you both so much for that, because I don't think, I mean, doing a 5K for me is a challenge at this point in my life. So how has the chill power factor really, so we'll start with you, Katie. How do you think the chill power, sort of incorporating that, has made your willpower factor a little more, you know, like you're charged up more?
Yeah, so as soon as I'm finished with a run, I'd come home, and I've done it in the mornings now lately, like getting ready for Chicago, the Chicago Marathon personally. But I just make sure that I come home right away, get it done right away, and I'm getting up earlier so that I can do this, you know, which is fine. But then chill power, you know, I guess if I don't get it in that day, then I just have to let it go, and it's fine, because I know that. Yeah, I know that I am being consistent. Maybe I missed one day, but that's fine. But I'm not getting all stressed out about it, because I know that consistently over the board I have been taking care of myself in all aspects, with doing a little bit of yoga, making sure I'm getting more rest. Doesn't sound like it in my voice right now, but
Ravens game last night.
Go Ravens. But yeah, it just, you know, with everything between the superfoods and the and drinking more water and.
Yeah, I love that with the chill power factor, because everyone, you know, most of the people that I work with, the type A's, was like, more, you know, let's push harder, and so that whole, like, okay, I can practice self-care, and I can accept just, it's perfect just enough.
Yes.
It's okay. If I don't get it in every day, that's okay too. It's just definitely empowering to think about, okay, I don't have to be perfect with this.
Right.
So Gabby, what about you with the chill power?
Yeah,
I know that
really
resonates with you a lot, but
it does. It's really just the less is more approach has worked for me, and then just adding in little tidbits, little bits of time here and there to do some stretching. And usually the first 5 minutes after I run is I take that time, and I could be chatting with my running friend, and I'm the one that's stretching, and we're all standing there.
Right.
Yeah,
but no,
you're like, join me, you guys.
Join me, but no, I usually, I'm often by myself, so that's easy, because if I'm by myself, I'm going to do my thing that I like to do.
Yeah, me
so those
too,
first 5 minutes, and then at home, I just take those bits of time, especially in the evening, and I'll sit on my foam roller in front of the TV, and I'll be on the floor while my husband's on the couch.
Yes.
Sometimes I can teach him, but yeah, it's just taking those bits of time, and then just adding in, being intentional, and adding in, like, thinking about what I'm doing, and thinking about what I'm making. And I'm not really a cook, so I have to.
Me either. I know.
I'm not a cook, so I have to. You know, when it comes to the eating and the superfoods, it's just a matter of making those good choices and stocking your pantry. If you stock your pantry,
such little simple
things that you can just incorporate and just keep it easy.
Yeah.
Keep it easy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you guys want to add?
One thing I was thinking about mentioning was that just as we are, sorry, but we are all getting older. Like, we're aging.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that that I come in contact with are, you know, postgraduates and older. And it's the less is more thing is really important, as you were mentioning, because as you get older, you cannot pound away on your body.
Right.
You just can't. You have to take more time for recovery.
Yes. Well, you know what?
And
I have
intentional recovery.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. And even so many of my clients have little kids that are athletic too, because of course my clients are athletic, so their kids are athletic.
Right.
But they're coming to me and they're like, "Can you help my kids stretch?" Because the kids aren't stretching.
Right.
And so even though, yes, it is more and more important as we get older, starting your kids and your kids would join you with this. So I have so many of my clients that participate in the programs, and their kids do the yoga with them. Now, I don't know that that's as fun for the as relaxing. I shouldn't say it is fun, but it's not maybe as relaxing for the moms or the dads. But it's so important for the little warriors to start young too. But yes, I truly believe, I mean, I'll be 49 soon. I think that, you know, the anti-inflammatory superfood diet and the yoga over time, you know, all of the aches and pains that a lot of people just struggle with, it makes such a big difference. Yes, can you keep popping anti-inflammatories? I mean, you could, but it's not good for your liver, and it's the Band-Aid approach. It's not fixing it at the root. And what we're doing is try to, you know, incorporate these just basic things. It doesn't take much time. It doesn't take much money. But it makes a big difference to your overall health and your aging process and all of that. And we're not getting any younger, unfortunately.
And I'm not perfect at it, but I am progressive. I try a little bit more every day.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, thanks for you guys. So we're here because we're here at Oregon Ridge, and we're just filming a foam roll segment. So we just wanted to jump on and you know, just chat a little bit about it. The challenge starts on the 21st.
Yep.
So it's a 5-day challenge from the 21st to the 25th. And the deadline to sign up, I know I told you the 20th, but the deadline to sign up is going to be the 19th, because I send out all the recipes and the shopping list, and we want to give you a little bit of a buffer so you can plan in advance. So if you want to join Gabby, Katie, and you can go to flexiblewarrior.com. It's on the events page. And it's just a fun little challenge. And for those of you who are not, I'm not training for a marathon. I'm not training for a century ride or anything like that. But it's going to encourage me, too, to get out there this last little stint of summer and get more mileage in, whether it's walking my dogs, walking my dogs, running the steps at Pretty Boy, which I like to do. I mean, I could never keep up with you guys, but you are an inspiration to me to get, you know what I mean? It's summer. Like, now is the time. You got to get outside and get fresh air, and, you know, and then the willpower, chill power factor. So thank you guys so much. You were awesome.
Thanks, Karen.
And, you know, if you guys have any questions, either for me or for Katie or Gabby, you can just comment below, and I'm going to finish our little Facebook Live. So, all right, have a great day, everyone. TGIF. Bye.